Good evening, everyone. Meteorologist Jeremy Baker here. I'm here for Bill Taylor tonight. He is off tonight, but he'll be back tomorrow. So I'll be doing your weather tonight. Feel free to ask any questions, say a joke, or tell me what you have for dinner. I'd love to hear from you. All right, here's a live look around town. We've got Morgan's Waterline Cam, Calaveras Lake, Skycam, San Antonio Airport, all looking nice and quiet. You can see it looks like a plane coming in for landing at the airport. I believe it's landing. Beautiful night out there, a little chilly, but it's the end of fall, so we're used to that, right? Uh-oh, there we go with the Mount Cedar back on the pollen count. It is that season again. Hopefully this allergy season isn't too bad for you. Last year wasn't so bad with the Mount Cedar. This year we're starting it light as normal. 90 is the count there. And the molds at 430, also light. Some good news there. How about the aquifer? Bad news. Went down half of a foot to 628.8, so still way below where we need to be. We need some rainfall. We do have some in the forecast, not much, and it's coming on the weekend. But hey, we need some rain. At least if it's on the weekend, it's not going to be much. So it's not going to affect your plans for the most part, I would think, unless you need sun. All right, here is the current temperatures. 51 at the San Antonio Airport, Stinson at 48. And we have clear, starry skies. If you're a stargazer, tonight is a good night for that. And the winds are calm, barometers pretty high, 1024 millibars. Anytime it's really over 1020, kind of shows us that high pressure's here. It's pretty strong, and that's what we're seeing right now. And the dew point, which tells us how much moisture is in the air, the further that is from the actual air temperature, the drier the air is. And it's fairly far, 32 degrees. Usually when it's foggy or drizzly, it's only a degree or two off from the actual air temperature. It's pretty far away, so the humidity is not all that high at 48%. Let's see, Bernie, I'm not convinced that's 36. We've had some funky things going on with the temperature there. Usually it's cooler, it might be. But the rest of them, I think, are accurate. 40 Kennedy, 48 Floresville, Seguin, a pair of fours, Pearsall and Cotulla, 51, 56 Del Rio, Rock Springs, 48, Junction at 47. Well, hello, Marcy Mahoney. How's your night going? Alex Benitez, turkey meatloaf. Yes, I love turkey meatloaf. It's so good. My mom makes a great turkey meatloaf. We'll see if that one compares. That's dinner tonight, turkey meatloaf. Not until 11 o'clock, though, since I'm doing weather. All right, so wind gusts over the past hour or so. A little breezy if you're in the northern hill country and western hill country. Rock Springs, a 19-mile-an-hour wind gust, 8 for Kerrville and Fredericksburg, 17 Del Rio. Everyone else not too bad. So it's not that windy of a night unless you're in the hill country. And the radar, there is nothing to talk about. No clouds, no rain, of course, no snow. Oh, I did it again. I hit that button that goes right to the 14-day. Gave it away, but that's a sneak peek for you. So I don't know why I do that over here. You see, there's a keyboard over here, and there's a button near the space bar advances the graphics. There's a button near the space bar that makes it go right to the 14-day. I'm thinking it's the B, but I keep hitting it. Anyway, there's a look outside again. Here's another look at the pollen count in case you missed it the first time. Molds in Mount Cedar, they are both light, but it's cedar season. It is coming. Aquifer dipped again, so it's still way below where we need to be, so we need some rain. No problem, Rudy. I like how you spell your name. That's pretty cool. I think we should change the English language to every word is spelled exactly how it sounds. What do you think about that? All right, there's the temperatures again, mostly 40s and 50s. Wind gusts not too windy unless you're in the hill country. And let's go to the next one. Aha. Dry radar. We already did that. Here we go. Water vapor. All right. This shows us where the moisture is in the atmosphere. Shows where the big storm systems are. Nothing over us. You see the rain over towards Florida. That's as close as any rain is right now. Not even anything there in Mexico or around the Four Corners. But the flow has been out of the north for the most part. That's bringing us the drier air, cooler air. Now the flow is starting to switch around back to the south. That's going to bring in more moisture from the Gulf of Mexico and eventually some rain, but it's not going to happen for several days. There's that BNP again. All right, here's the drought report, mid-September. Yeah, we're still looking at extreme and exceptional drought conditions right around Barry and Medina counties and off towards Valverde County. But now we're still looking at extreme, no exceptional. And that area of extreme drought condition that was near the coastal plain, that's now a small area just west of Houston. So a little bit of improvement there, but much of South Texas still seeing at least a severe drought. So we definitely need that rainfall. All right, here's the Futurecast. We'll walk you through it hour by hour. The clock in the corner says 7 a.m. tomorrow. You see a lot of 30s there. You see that purple off to the west, western Valverde County. That would be 20s. But we're all going to be in the 30s tonight. I would not be surprised to see a very isolated upper 20s low somewhere in the hill country. Likely frost there, but we've been down there already so far this year. So there will be some frost out there in places. San Antonio, I'm thinking, will stay above the freezing point. I'm thinking probably closer to the mid to upper 30s, not quite the low 30s. But we'll have a lot of sunshine, and thanks to the dry air that's bringing us the cold tonight, it's going to warm us up quickly tomorrow. So even though we're going to go down to the 30s tonight, we're going to head well into the 60s tomorrow and low 70s for daytime highs. Easily 70s in our southern counties. Then for Wednesday, pretty much the same thing. We're just going to turn the temperature up a bit. Overnight lows Wednesday morning. No 30s out there. There could be a few isolated upper 30s, but for the most part, it's going to be 40s and 50s for overnight lows Wednesday morning. And once again on Wednesday, just like tomorrow, we're going to heat up with a lot of sunshine. Temperatures well into the 70s, mid to upper 60s in the hill country, mid 70s for San Antonio. Southern counties, we'll see some 80s. So it's pretty nice to see some 80s on the map there in December if you like the warm air. And Thursday, same thing. Friday, things start to change. We get some more clouds in and eventually some rainfall in the forecast for next weekend, this weekend. How much rain could we see? This includes the weekend. Not a whole lot, maybe a tenth to a quarter of an inch at best. Maybe towards Houston, a half of an inch. That's about it. Much of Texas very dry this week until we get to the weekend. So here's the forecast for tomorrow. We're going to have clear skies tonight. I'm saying mostly sunny tomorrow, but I'm thinking probably completely sunny. Maybe a few clouds, but for the most part, blue sky. Cold start at 38 for San Antonio. Mostly sunny throughout the day. 62 by noon and 67 the high. South winds at 5 to 10 miles per hour. They've been northerly. They'll become southerly tomorrow, and that'll help to start warming us back up. So 67 tomorrow, 75 on Wednesday. Notice the low is not as cold Wednesday morning, 46. Thursday, pretty much the same thing, low in the 40s, high in the low to mid 70s. Friday, we increase the cloud cover, keep the temperatures in about the same spot, 73 for a high. Then the rain chances come back into the forecast. Only 10% Saturday, 20% on Sunday, slightly better on Monday with a 30% chance. High temperatures go back into the 60s for those few days. They'll stay in the 60s for most of next week until we get to the next weekend. And as we get closer and closer to Christmas, this goes up to December 22nd. We have the highs going back in the 70s. So still warm temperatures a few days before Christmas. No 80s though. That's what it was looking like a couple of days ago. 70s now. I think that's warm enough. All right, there's your forecast. I will have more tonight on Ken's 5 News at 10. ECs will have your news. I don't see Henry, so I think he's out tonight. And Nate, though, will have your sports. So we hope to see them. Snow, please, Alex Benitez. It's not coming here, sorry. Maybe further north. You just have to fly north. All right, have a good night, guys. Bye-bye. Stay warm.